Have you ever encountered an English idiom that left you scratching your head? Today, we're going to dive into the meaning and usage of the common expression "a blessing in disguise." Understanding this idiom can go a long way in improving your English communication skills. Let me share a funny story about a time when someone misunderstood the literal meaning of this idiom. My friend, Sarah, was planning a trip to the beach, but the weather turned out to be rainy and gloomy. She thought, well, this rain must be a blessing in disguise. I guess I'll just stay home and relax. Of course, that's not quite what a blessing in disguise means. This idiom refers to a situation that may seem negative or unfortunate at first, but ultimately turns out to be a positive or beneficial outcome. Let me give you a better example of how a blessing in disguise can be used correctly. My coworker, Alex, lost his job due to the company's restructuring. At first, he was devastated, but then he realized this was a blessing in disguise. The job loss gave him the opportunity to pursue his true passion and start his own business, which has been a huge success. Here are some diverse examples of how a blessing in disguise can be used. In casual conversation, the rain today was a blessing in disguise. It gave me a chance to catch up on my reading. In a formal setting, the unexpected delay in our project launch turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as it allowed us to refine our strategy. In a negative context, losing my wallet was a blessing in disguise, as it forced me to be more mindful of my spending. In a humorous context, my car breaking down on the way to the party was a blessing in disguise. I had the perfect excuse to leave early. In a literary context, the protagonist's setback proved to be a blessing in disguise, as it led them on a journey of self-discovery. In a business setting, the economic downturn was a blessing in disguise for our company, as it pushed us to innovate and find new revenue streams. On social media, that flat tire on my way to the concert was a blessing in disguise. I got to enjoy some quiet time at home instead. To help you remember the meaning of a blessing in disguise, try picturing a beautifully wrapped gift with a surprise inside. The initial appearance may not be what you expected, but the true value is revealed once you open it up. Now, let's explore some fun facts about this idiom. The idiom reflects the cultural value of finding the silver lining in difficult situations and maintaining a positive outlook. The idiom has been used in various literary works and self-help books over the years. Over time, the usage of a blessing in disguise has evolved to encompass a wider range of situations, beyond just religious or spiritual contexts. Here are a few related idioms and phrases to be aware of. Similar idioms: every cloud has a silver lining. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Opposite idioms: out of the frying pan and into the fire, from bad to worse, between a rock and a hard place. Related idioms: a double-edged sword, a necessary evil, a mixed blessing. Let's try using a blessing in disguise in a sentence. The unexpected layoff turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as it gave me the push I needed to start my own business. Now, let's rephrase that without using the idiom. The unexpected layoff ended up being a positive thing, as it gave me the push I needed to start my own business. You can see how the idiom adds a more vivid and expressive way of conveying the same meaning. Here's a real-life story that showcases the effective use of a blessing in disguise. My friend, Samantha, was devastated when she didn't get accepted into her dream university. However, she decided to take a gap year and travel instead. During her travels, she discovered a new passion for sustainable agriculture, which led her to enroll in a specialized program that was a much better fit for her interests. Samantha now runs a thriving organic farm, and she credits her initial disappointment as a blessing in disguise that set her on the path to her true calling. Let's address some common mistakes and misunderstandings when using a blessing in disguise. A common grammatical mistake is using the instead of a before blessing in disguise. The correct usage is the blessing in disguise, not the blessing in disguise. Another frequent misunderstanding is thinking the idiom refers to a literal blessing, like a religious or spiritual blessing. In reality, it's about a positive outcome that emerges from a seemingly negative situation. Finally, people sometimes use a blessing in disguise inappropriately in contexts where the situation is truly negative or harmful, without any redeeming qualities. The idiom should be reserved for situations where the negative aspect ultimately leads to a positive outcome. Let's test your understanding of a blessing in disguise with a few quiz questions. 1. What is the meaning of the idiom a blessing in disguise? A. A religious or spiritual blessing. B. A positive outcome that emerges from a seemingly negative situation. C. A hidden advantage or opportunity. D, B, and C. 2. Which of the following is a synonym for a blessing in disguise? A. Every cloud has a silver lining. B. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. C. Between a rock and a hard place. D, A, and C. 3. Which of the following is an antonym for a blessing in disguise? A. A mixed blessing. B. A necessary evil. C. From bad to worse. D, B, and C. In summary, a blessing in disguise is a common English idiom that refers to a situation that may seem negative or unfortunate at first, but ultimately turns out to be a positive or beneficial outcome. Understanding the meaning and proper usage of this idiom can greatly improve your English communication skills and help you express yourself more effectively. Now it's your turn. Share a time when you experienced a blessing in disguise in the comments below. Try using the idiom in a sentence, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more English idiom lessons.